The orchestra noir concert experience setting the vibe. The bass kicked in first, slow and smooth, a lazy roll that wrapped around the room like smoke curling in the air. I'm Trying to Smoke by Jhené Aiko filled the space, the soft lilt of her voice floating over the beat, setting the perfect, mellow, sensual vibe. Riley stood in front of her mirror, rolling her shoulders back, letting the music settle into her skin. She wasn't rushing. She was moving with intention. Her tailored black pants fit like they had been made for her, sitting just right on her hips. The black silk button-down draped effortlessly, the top two buttons undone just enough. A black belt with a sleek gold buckle cinched everything together. Gold hoops, the usual chain. Simple, clean. She sat on the edge of her bed, pulling on her Cole Haan boots, tightening the laces just a little. Sleek, understated, but dope as hell. The whole look was smooth, effortless, but intentional. She leaned into the mirror, adjusting an earring, rubbing a touch of her signature oil between her palms before pressing it against her skin. Familiar, grounding. She took a slow inhale, then exhaled even slower, watching herself in the mirror, watching the way her body moved with the music. This was a vibe. Her phone buzzed on the counter. The group chat. Talia, y'all outside or what? Sierra, some of us don't rush the process, bitch. Bria, can y'all at least be drinking? Simone, get here first, then we talk drinks. Riley smirked, grabbing her bag and heading out the door. It was time. The pregame, Simone's spot. The vibe was already set the second Riley stepped into Simone's apartment. The lights were dim, candles burning low, the scent of something sweet and intoxicating floating in the air. The playlist was impeccable, a mix of old-school R&B and smooth trap beats setting the tone. Drinks were already in hand. A bottle of whiskey sat open on the counter. Someone had a bottle of tequila. Riley stepped inside, looking around. Everyone? Dressed? Down. Simone was in an emerald green jumpsuit, fitted at the waist, flowing in all the right places. Her gold bangles jingled as she poured a drink. Talia had on a royal blue off-shoulder dress, her short curls styled to perfection, silver earrings catching the light. Bria was in a maroon pantsuit, tailored sharp, paired with black stilettos and a bold red lip. Nia went for classic black, a lace cocktail dress, red heels, nothing extra, just effortless. Sierra was the wild card, in a mustard yellow midi dress, flared just enough to catch air when she moved. They were all looking like money. The Uber ride was loud, full of teasing, laughter, and hype energy. By the time they stepped out in front of the venue, they had already drawn attention. A group of black women, fully dressed to the nines, stepping out like they owned the night. The air buzzed with anticipation. Inside, the lights were low, the stage glowing in soft blues and purples. The energy in the crowd was electric but intimate. Everyone there for the love of music, for the experience. They moved through the crowd smoothly, effortlessly, like they belonged there. And they did. As the first notes hit the air, Riley felt everything settle. The orchestra played with a richness that seeped into her bones, the fusion of classical strings with deep hip-hop beats making something entirely new, entirely unforgettable. She let herself sink into it. For the first time all day, she wasn't thinking about Elle. She wasn't thinking about anything. Just being. The bass thumped low, steady, intoxicating. She tilted her head back, let her eyes close, and let the music take her. The restaurant was warm, alive, and full of movement. The soft hum of conversations and occasional laughter mixed with the distant sound of the kitchen at work, pans clattering, the sizzle of something frying, the rhythmic chop of a knife against a cutting board. Upper Kirby Bistro was the perfect mix of casual and upscale, a Black-owned space that felt both inviting and refined. The walls were lined with abstract paintings by local Black artists, and the air was thick with the scent of slow-roasted meats, Cajun spices, and something sweet lingering in the background, probably peach cobbler fresh out the oven. Riley sat at the round mahogany table, the low candlelight flickering in the center, casting a golden glow over her plate. The table was full of movement, napkins unfolding, wine being poured, silverware clinking lightly as plates arrived one by one. Drinks first. The waitress, a deep brown-skinned woman with locks pulled into a bun, took their orders while refilling water glasses. Riley and Sierra, red wine, full-bodied, smooth, something that coated the tongue in all the right ways. Talia and Bria, whiskey sours, just enough kick, but still sweet. Simone, margarita, classic salted rim, not too sweet. Nia, old-fashioned, because of course, the appetizers hit the table next, and they wasted no time digging in. Collard and artichoke dip, creamy, rich, with crispy wonton chips that snapped perfectly when dipped. Coconut curry chicken wings, juicy, flavorful, a little heat at the end. Fried green tomatoes, thick cut, crispy, tangy, drizzled with a spicy aioli. Riley dipped a wonton chip into the collard and artichoke dip, taking a slow bite, letting the warmth of the food settle in her chest. She hadn't even realized how hungry she was. "You've been quiet," Bria noted, spearing a fried green tomato. "Everything good?" Sierra, who had been playing with her wine glass stem, let out a breath. "Actually, I got something to tell y'all." The table stilled, all eyes moving to Sierra. "Okay," Talia said, setting her drink down. "What's up?" Sierra hesitated for just a second, then exhaled sharply. "He asked me to move in with him." Silence. Then, "Oh shit." Simone blinked. "Damn." Bria tilted her head. "And what did you say?" Sierra sighed, rubbing her temple. "I told him I needed time to think." Talia immediately leaned forward. "Okay, but how do you feel?" Sierra shrugged. "I mean, I like him, a lot. We've been good, but do I want to live with him? I don't know." Bria tapped her nails against her glass. "Are we talking about a move-in like real commitment, or move-in like it's convenient for him?" Sierra shot her a look. "It's not just convenient." Nia, ever the straight shooter, took a slow sip of her drink. "Then why do you feel unsure?" Sierra exhaled, leaning back in her chair. "Because I like my life the way it is. I love my space. I love coming home to just me. But I also don't want to lose him." The table nodded in understanding. They all knew that feeling, when something is good, but change is scary. Riley finally spoke, her voice steady. "You don't have to figure it all out today." Sierra glanced at her. "You can say yes and change your mind later. You can say no and still be with him. This isn't a forever decision. It's just a choice for right now." Sierra sat with that for a moment, then nodded slowly. Yeah, you're right." The conversation shifted, the weight of it lifting slightly. Laughter returned to the table. More drinks were poured, and plates arrived hot, fresh, smelling like heaven. The table was full of color, heat, and flavor. Riley, blackened catfish with creamy crawfish sauce and garlic mashed potatoes. The fish was tender, smoky, and buttery. The sauce rich but not overwhelming. Sierra, Nashville hot sliders with house pickles and sweet potato fries. Crispy, spicy, perfectly balanced between heat and sweet. Talia, shrimp and grits. A classic creamy, full of Cajun flavor, shrimp cooked just right. Bria, Louisiana gumbo. Dark roux, deep, bold flavor, packed with seafood, sausage, and chicken. Simone, red snapper with coconut rice and grilled asparagus, light, flaky tropical hints that paired perfectly with her margarita. Nia, braised short ribs with buttered corn and cornbread, fall apart tender, pure comfort food. The conversation turned to memories, inside jokes, random gossip. The music overhead shifted from smooth jazz to 90s R&B, the kind of tracks that made you sing along without thinking. The candles flickered low. The music overhead shifted into something smoother, 90s R&B, the kind of music that made you feel settled. Plates were half empty, drinks refilled, and the night had that perfect buzz when nobody was too full, too tired, or too sober to say what was really on their minds. And that's exactly why Sierra, who had just gotten everyone off her own case, turned to Riley with a knowing smirk. All right, now you. When's the last time you talked to Elle? Riley froze mid-bite, fork hovering over her plate. She took a slow sip of wine, thinking, I could deflect. I could pretend I didn't hear her. But then Talia caught it. Her eyes narrowed, her grin widened, and before Riley could even finish chewing, she clapped her hands together and pointed at her. Oh my God! She turned to Sierra, eyes wide with pure glee. You caught her. She'd been sitting on some heavy shit all night. Bria's head snapped up. Wait, what? Simone, who had been swirling her wine, casually observing, arched an eyebrow. Oh yeah, she's been quiet since she sat down. That means something happened. Riley sighed long and deep, running a hand over her head. We could talk about Elle another day. Nah, Sierra crossed her arms. Let's talk about Elle now. Nia, who rarely spoke unless it was important, tilted her head. Yeah, I want to hear this one. Bria leaned in. Did she text you? Sierra cut her off. No, something happened. Talia gasped dramatically. Oh, not something happened. Bria squinted at Riley. Wait, y'all fucked again? Riley nearly choked on her wine. No, damn, can I breathe? Talia waved her hand. Girl, you've been breathing through a lie all night. Spill it. Riley wiped her mouth, exhaled, and finally just said it. Elle told me she's a swinger. Silence. Then, bitch! Talia damn near knocked over her glass. Bria smacked the table. No. Sierra blinked. Like, legit? Simone, ever calm, ever curious, tilted her head. Like, full lifestyle? Riley, already regretting everything, nodded. Yep, she's bi and in the lifestyle, goes to parties, all of that. Bria let out the loudest, most shocked-ass laugh. Not you dating a community member. Riley groaned, throwing her napkin at her. Shut the hell up. Talia was already crying, laughing. Bitch, you mean to tell me you had swingers news sitting in your soul all night and we had to drag it out of you? Sierra was still trying to process. Wait. So what does that mean? Simone leaned forward, ready to actually discuss. More importantly, how do you feel about it? The table finally settled, looking at Riley. She exhaled slowly, swirling her wine. I mean, I'm still processing. Bria sipped her drink dramatically. Oh, you processing. Riley shook her head. I'm not mad about it. I'm not turned off. It's just a lot. Nia, ever the quietest, but always clocking people, nodded slowly. You're not mad, but you weren't expecting it. Riley pointed at her. Exactly. Simone tapped her fingers on the table. Did she tell you just because, or did she invite you to something? Riley sighed. She didn't invite me yet. She said she wanted to be up front because she likes me, but she made it clear that at some point she'd like me to go to a party with her. Bria put a hand on her chest like she had just heard some wild shit. Oh, bitch, I know you lying. Sierra stared at her. And what did you say? I said, I don't know. Talia gasped. You didn't say no? Riley squinted at her. Would you just automatically say no? Talia opened her mouth, then closed it. Bria whistled low. Oh, you curious? I didn't say that. Simone tilted her head. But you didn't not say that. Bria turned to the group, smirking. So, when are we all going to a swinger party? Riley threw another napkin. Shut up! Talia was still laughing. I'm just saying, bitch, never in my life did I expect you to be in this conversation. Riley rubbed her temples. Trust me, neither did I. Simone, the only one still drinking like this wasn't a life-changing revelation, set her glass down. Well, she said simply, you don't have to decide right now. The table quieted. That was true. Riley exhaled, finally letting the tension leave her shoulders. Yeah, I don't. I'm just taking it one thing at a time. Bria nodded dramatically. Yeah, one step at a time, right into a lifestyle party. Riley groaned. Y'all are unbearable. Sierra, still sipping her wine, cut in smoothly. Okay, so let's be serious for a second. She set her glass down. What about it interests you? Riley blinked. She hadn't actually thought about it like that. Because was she curious? Maybe. The thought of Elle in that space, moving with that same confidence, making her feel that same ease, the way she talked about choice, about doing what felt right. Maybe that was intriguing. Riley sighed. I don't know. It's not even about the party itself. It's about... She searched for the words. I'm learning that I assumed a lot about her, just based on how she looks. And I was wrong. I don't like being wrong, but I like learning, and this is something new. The table quieted for a second. Then Bria nodded, dramatic but genuine. Oh yeah, you going? Talia snorted. Absolutely. Simone smiled slightly. So you're open? Riley sighed dramatically. Y'all are annoying. Bria pointed her fork at her. Annoying and correct. Sierra grinned. You'll keep us posted though, right? Riley smirked. Y'all won't let me not. They laughed, clinked glasses, and eased back into their normal rhythm. The food was gone, the drinks were nothing but melting ice, and the night was closing in on that perfect space where everyone felt full, warm, and just tipsy enough to let the conversation carry them wherever it needed to go. Sierra stretched, sighing. Okay, I'm done talking about Riley. Can we get back to roasting Bria's situationship? Bria scoffed. First of all, don't act like y'all don't have them too. The table erupted again, and just like that, the pressure was off. For now. Outside, the air was cooler than expected, a welcome shift from the warmth of the restaurant. The street was lined with city lights, cars rolling by slow, the sound of distant music spilling from a bar down the block. Riley stood with her arms crossed, staring at nothing in particular. Sierra, slipping her phone into her bag, noticed first. You good? Riley blinked, coming back to herself. Yeah, she said, a little too fast. Sierra wasn't buying it. Thinking about it? Riley sighed, tucking her hands into her pockets. A little. Sierra nudged her. You're allowed to be curious, you know. Riley let out a breath. Yeah, I know. A moment of quiet. Then Talia's voice cut through the night. Bitch, come on before this Uber leave your ass. Riley and Sierra laughed, shaking their heads. Riley let out a final sigh, rolling her shoulders back. For now, she wasn't rushing to figure anything out. For now, she was just letting things take shape on their own. If you've made it this far, thank you for riding this wave with us. Riley's curiosity might be louder than her caution. But next week, it's her choices that'll do the talking. Will she show up? Will she cross the line? Or will she finally set one?